Greetings, doll fans! Welcome! I'm back with some updates, and my first update, if you don't mind me boring you a little bit, is I got this new t-shirt today in the mail, and I am just so psyched I have to talk about it for a second. It's Swallow the Sun. I have officially dubbed them my favorite band a few months ago. But look at it. Isn't it so cool? I love the art. Oh, I love the artwork of it. It's so great. I like that it's gray. It's just cool. I love intricate artwork like that. So just so excited right now. I bought it like last week. April is the month for me to spoil myself. So it's kind of like a birthday present to myself. So anyway, moving on. This is, today is Thursday, and Tuesday was my birthday, and I decided that, see, I was home. It was like a normal day. My husband went to work, I was home, so luckily I didn't have to work. So I knew that on a special day like that, I have to do some cool stuff, some crafting. It's like, I gotta do some great crafts today. Yes, or writing, whatever. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for a while. For the longest time, it's like, what do I want to do? What am I doing today? So I figured it out. You see, just last weekend, I think, is when I found out I have a doll body that's on the way. Hopefully it's in the mail now. I don't know. You see, my mom bought me a body for my doll Chateau girl head. And it's a doll's own body. It's coming through mint on card. Took 6 months or more. Took a long time. But it finally came to the US. And now it's coming to me soon. So that led me to face up the head, basically. Here she is. I would like to introduce you to Kaisa's head. Ta-da! It's on the stand, as you can see. Please excuse its state. It's kind of weird on this stand. So the neck part was made for a ring doll, so it's huge. And her neck cavity is very little. I made up for that because I need to use the stand. The stand is so useful. So what I did was, this right here that you see is a makeup sponge. And it looks like one of those Renaissance neck ruffs. But no, it's a makeup sponge that's cushioning her head on top of this neck, because I didn't want her neck to, her resin cavity to feel any stress being forced onto this huge neck. So that's what's happening there. That's cushioning like that. I'm gonna do Payu's head on this neck when I make his wig. It's gonna be useful. That was my plan I came up with. I'm like, I'll use a makeup sponge and cushion it. And then I can put his head, and I won't have to make a new stand for a doll Chateau neck, with the doll Chateau neck. Okay, so anyway, so that's why I'm saying she doesn't look her best on this thing. So let's get past that. Now what you see here is, here's her face. Now she is, if you'll remember a few years ago, I was doing a face-up video, and it was the Tired Peasant project. And it was kind of a flop. Basically, I don't even have that doll anymore. It was a flop. It didn't quite come out the way I wanted it to. So basically, I never gave up on that idea. I always had it. I always knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it in her character. So here she is, and she was not a flop. I think this is a success. This is the Tired Peasant, and I hope to bring to you a video on me doing this face-up. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I don't even know if my camera caught everything, if you know what I mean. I'm still getting used to this camera, and how I use it with the face-up angles and stuff. It's still very experimental. What I'm trying to say here is that I hope there will be a video, maybe not, just whatever. I pretty much felt like it was a success, so I went ahead and I glued the eyelashes on, and it's done, and I hope I won't have to redo it. When it comes to my thoughts, one of my thoughts was that you see this dark blue line right here? It's heavier on this side than on that side. I'm like I'm always on the fence about that. I'm not sure if I should have done that. But I think it's gonna stay that way for a while. But I'm not sure if that was a good idea. I was just trying to make her skin look really thin because she's a tired peasant girl. I want her to look pretty and natural and but basically kind of realistically tired for a medieval peasant. So hopefully I managed that. But her face, you know, her face is so narrow. I worry that maybe I brought out the narrowness a little too much. Like maybe I didn't have to blush the hollowest side of her cheek. Maybe I didn't have to do that because it's already pretty hollow. It's like, why should I shade that? I didn't really shade it, I blushed it, but it kind of shaded it also because when you put some pink on the resin, it brings it down an octave in the value. I don't know if you can see like the whole thing. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I want to know what you think. That's cool. You know, whatever your opinion is, I respect it. So, you know, say whatever you want. When I first finished it also, there was a little bit of hesitance and a little bit of a, oh gosh, what did I do? Because of the choice of sculpt. But basically I think she's gonna be fine. When I get her body in and get her all together, I'm hoping that it's all gonna come together and look great, and then I'll be all like, yes, that's my doll. Right now this is distracting and ugly, so I wish I could just look at her. I mean, I could take her off the stand, but it's just so nice to handle her when she's on it. Oh yeah, sculpt wise, yeah, I was worried that maybe her gauntness is a little bit extreme, but I hope not. I'm gonna give it a shot. That's all I'm trying to say here. I'm gonna give it a shot. And of course I was putting her up against D a lot. My blue-haired guy, you know, just after I did the face up, just to make sure that they look good together. They need to look fashionable together. Although in the end, when I think about it, the doll Chateau Christina sculpt really does, it really does draw attention to that tired peasant theme, I think. I think it really kind of looks the part. And I'm afraid that if I had picked another sculpt, she would have looked too perfect, too Barbie-ish, too fashionable. But maybe not. I mean, face-up is a really magical craft, so hopefully not. It probably would look good either way. So, yeah. So there's a little bit of hesitance, a little bit of that going on, like, oh, I hope. But on the other hand, I do have a strong feeling that she's gonna work for the character and for D. And then one thing I also noticed when I put her head against his head is that her head is either the same size or bigger than his head. If that makes sense. I don't know if it's physically bigger, but her face looks at least as big as his. Her proportional eyes and stuff, it's really big compared to his. And that shouldn't really be a problem, but, well, it is for me. Because, like, you know how, have you ever seen, like, really looked at a man and woman's face together when their faces are close together? The man's head is usually much bigger. I mean, like, next time you're watching a movie and somebody kisses, check that out. Just look at the sizes of their faces. Generally, a man's head is bigger than a woman's. So I would definitely want that in my dolls if I have a doll couple going on. But that may not be the case for these two. Oh well. It's like he's gonna be so much bigger than her. He's 70.5 centimeters and she's gonna be only about 58 centimeters. So he's gonna be like huge, she's gonna be tiny, but their heads are gonna be about the same size. And that just doesn't seem right to me. But we'll find out. We'll find out. Other than all that stuff I just rambled about, I'm really, really happy with her. Like, I do get excited every time I look at her, even though she's a little bit weird. Maybe I just have to get used to looking at her weird face. But I think she's good. I'm hoping she's gonna really have character in her face. Sorry. Not just be beautiful. You know, not just, oh, I'm gorgeous and model-esque. Look at me. Yeah, I do want her to be plain, and a little bit like less than beautiful. Even though I do think she's beautiful, but she's not like society's stereotypical facial proportion of beauty, if that makes sense. I'm sorry if I'm not making sense. Yeah, so that's what I'm going for her. I want natural, I want different, I want somebody who really looks like they're like their own person, you know, not just a typecast in a movie. The pretty girl. So, moving on, what you see on her head is a veil or kerchief, I guess. I was going for that kerchief look, like when you tie a bandana on your head and you tie it under your hair, and then you got this cute little pointy triangular shape. I did that for her, but it turned out like bigger. It turned out really long like this, and it doesn't have to be. I could trim it down, but I'm leaving it like that. I think this is actually more medieval. So, you know, because in the Middle Ages, as you know, women typically wore veils on their heads, and the married women had wimples, you know, the neck covering, but they typically had this going on pretty much, and they were different styles, different lengths. I really like it when the front of the hair shows. I think that is cute and adorable. I love that. So I'm leaving it like this for a while. I'll tell you how I made this. This is, I think this is like pretty cool, and it was easy, and you can do it too. I'll show you what I did. It's a really easy thing. Like, look at that. You know what that is? Can you tell? It's like a metal wire headband that I bought it from Tata's Paradise. And usually you would stick a bow on there and then stick it on her head. You might cover it in ribbon. I covered it in fabric so that it's a very easy, easily removable kerchief, and easy to put on her too. And it stays on, and it holds its shape, and it's not a pain in the butt. It's not like having to like take the fabric and tie it under her hair, and none of that. So, and all I did was hot glued it. So if you want to make one, like, I cut out a big square shape, like a handkerchief. It might be like a typical handkerchief shape. Big square. Fold it in half, and then I ironed it in half, or ironed it, folded it in half, so that it would stay folded neatly, so it would cooperate. And then I actually covered the wire in linen, so you can see it. It's a slightly different color and stuff. That's just linen. I wrapped it around the ends because I'm always afraid that these metal headbands are gonna scrape the doll's head as it's going down on there, like, and chip the face up and whatever, scratch the resin. So I covered it so it's cushiony now, or it's just not sharp, it's blunt. And I use hot glue. And then all I did was I wrapped the fabric, the folded half of the fabric inside here, and it's glued on the underside, not on the overside, so that on this side you don't see any glue or any bumpiness or whatever. It's just, can you see it? It's just folded in there. That's why I'm able to fold it out and show the end. And then you just pop it on her head, and there she's got a nicely laying kerchief. And then in order to get it to lay neatly on her head. I put it on her head, folded it the way I wanted it to hang, and then you iron those folds so that it'll hang like that all the time. And later, when I make decisions about how I want the final one to look, I might stitch it down so that it definitely like lays down the way I want it to. Alright, so that was my little crafty thing on my birthday. I had a wig that I bought that arrived in time for my birthday and also in time for that body to get here. So that lined up real nice. It's like yes, wig's here, body's gonna be here. So that's why I decided to face her up on the day of my birthday. Because it was also very nice weather. I had a nice time, I gotta say. I had like a wig thing. I bought this wig. And this wig is from Sweet Tiger. You know how they've got what looks like a really nice, attractive selection of wigs made with synthetic mohair, I think they call it, which is plastic, and it's really silky and thin fibers and just nice. It reminds me of a Monique wig, except I don't like the way they handle right here, right in front, like that. I don't like that I don't like it as much as Monique. That's what I'm trying to say. And I bought the dark brown color that is offered, and it's just like the straight parted wig. But when it got here, it looked like that. That doesn't really look like the photo to me. This looks more like some kind of a honey brown. So I was like, okay. I'm a person who goes with the flow, so I don't get like mad if the wig doesn't show up looking exactly like I think it's going to show up. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, it was like a funny thing that I kind of rushed into buying this wig because I didn't want to wait. I knew that body was coming. I knew I needed a wig, otherwise she'd be bald, and I didn't want her to be bald for very long. I had already had her so many months, and I wanted her to have hair. So I didn't want to make her wait in line for an alpaca wig, because she's waiting behind Payu right now. Yeah, so, and I haven't even really started his yet. I have the alpaca hair prepped. That's it. So I decided to buy her a wig. And I decided it would be a good time to check out Sweet Tiger's wigs. And well, yeah, you know, it came nice and fast and stuff, and they were quick to ship it, but I don't want to give them a bad review, because I think they have a really nice looking shop, and I love their business cards, and they're so fancy, but when the wig got here, it smelled bad. It smelled like it had been sitting around in a smoker's house for a long, long time. And it just stank. My husband was arguing with me. He says it does not smell like cigarettes. But I disagreed with that. It was musty. And it was gross. And the smell came off on my hands. And I was like, oh. And when I put it on the doll, the smell came off on the doll head. And I was like, oh. So I washed the wig, and it's fine now. I let it sit in well, it still smells weird, but you know, it doesn't smell like new plastic to me. So yeah, sorry, Sweet Tiger. Sorry for the bad review, but I'm just being honest. Yeah, so I fixed it. I soaked it in a bowl of laundry detergent for a few hours, and then I washed it with my hands a little bit, and then I hung it up neatly to dry, and now it's nice and doesn't smell so bad anymore, and I don't mind putting it on the doll. And then I washed the head because I was afraid she was smelling odd, and I don't like that. That bothers me to think my dolls are smelling right now. So anyway. So this is what she looked like. Did I already tell you, I modeled the face up after this new wig, And it doesn't look bad. This is what it looks like. See? Oh, I guess that goes well. I don't like see how thick that is right up there? I hate that. That's one of my wig pet peeves. So that was kind of like a deal breaker. So, and of course I went with the wig on, I put her up against Dee to see how they look together. And I wasn't liking it. So then I was like, that was when I was really starting to feel kind of bad, like, I don't know if this doll's going to work. So I figured, well, might as well try something else. So I brought out the next brown wig I had, and that was Abbott's old spirit doll wig. And this is it. I never thought I would use that wig. You know, after I pretty much took it off of Abbott, and I'm like, you're not wearing this anymore. Yeah, so then I just had it sitting around. So I put this wig on her, and it was like magic. The dark really suited her. I did think that she looked more drab, more plain, more kind of like the Ali Sheedy type from the Breakfast Club, you know, kind of gothy or something. So there she is. But it suits her, don't you think? Like, it brought this darker wig. It brought out the purple in her eyes, and it brought up the whatever subtle hints of purple are in her face up, and her lips look good with it, I think. You can tell her eyebrows are a little lighter because I modeled the eyebrows after the other wig, but that doesn't even bother me. I don't even think she needs them to be changed. So there you go. So I like it. I like it a lot. And then it looked even better because when I made this, this thing wrangles up the hair in a nice way, in a way that I want to see it wrangled up. Ta-da! See? I can do stuff like this, and I can sweep the hair back into the little headband, and I can control her hairstyle a little bit. So I'm really loving this kerchief idea. Her character definitely wears one. There you go, that's Kaisa. She is an upcoming new doll. She's about to make her premiere. See how I have to make these like kind of lay down neater, like sew them down like that or something. Yep, anyway. Oh, wish me luck. I'm going to see what I can do with this girl. See if she is the real Kaisa. Alright. See you guys later. Have a good day. And who stole my sandwich?